The Raven and the Old Nest. The Raven felt the pull long before he saw the tree, the old ache of memory rising like a shadow from the past. Just one look, he murmured to himself as his wings sliced through the cool morning air, just to see what became of the place I left behind. But even as he spoke, a question hung beneath his ribs like a stone. Why now? Why return at all? The ancient oak waited in the valley below, gnarled and towering, the same one that had cradled his earliest days. Mist curled around its roots. The dawn sun, timid and pale, barely pierced the canopy. Everything about the scene felt familiar, and yet unsettling, like a dream half remembered. He landed on a high branch, claws scraping old bark. There it was, his nest, or rather, what was left of it. A tangle of twigs sagged in the crotch of two branches, half collapsed, weather-beaten, and slowly being claimed by moss. The sight sent a jolt through him, part sorrow, part disappointment, part something he couldn't quite name. He had expected what? That it would remain as he remembered? Preserved by time? Untouched by storms or seasons? He leaned closer, studying each frayed strand. "This place used to hold all of me," he whispered. "My whole world fit right here." A sudden flutter broke the silence. A small bird, no more than a fledgling sparrow, burst from inside the nest ruins. Startled by his arrival, it chirped sharply, wings flailing as it scrambled to a safer branch. For a moment, the raven froze, his heart leaping. Another creature had taken shelter where he once lived. Instinct prickled. Possessiveness. A strange, irrational jealousy. "This is mine," he almost said aloud. But before he could speak, a breeze drifted through the valley, warm, sweet, carrying the scent of grass and distant blooming flowers. And with it came the memories. He remembered building this nest in desperation, an awkward yearling struggling to twist branches into the right shape. He remembered sleepless nights, trembling through thunderstorms. He remembered leaving the tree because he'd needed more sky, more challenge, more life than this valley could offer. He remembered growing. Slowly, the tightness in his chest loosened. The fledgling sparrow, young, bright-eyed, trembling with its own fears, peeked at him from the branch above. The raven looked back, not with anger, not with longing, but with understanding. "This nest isn't mine anymore," he said softly. "It did its job, and I outgrew it." He stepped back from the branch, wings spreading. The oak groaned gently beneath him, as if acknowledging the truth. For a long moment, the raven gazed out over the valley, the winding rivers, the rolling hills, the unending sky calling his name, all the places he had explored, all the battles he had fought to become who he was now. The nest had been the beginning. But beginnings are not meant to be destinations. With a single powerful beat of his wings, he lifted into the air, not with sorrow, but with gratitude. The wind wrapped around him like an embrace he didn't know he needed. As he climbed higher, the old oak grew smaller, but something inside him grew larger, a quiet realization blossoming into certainty. Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means making room for who you've become. And as the raven soared into the widening sky, he whispered one final truth into the wind. "I'm not returning to who I was. I'm flying toward who I'm meant to be." If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.